What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast, episode 384. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And we're puddle pushing with Adam.
So we finally watched The Crow.
Yeah.
Hey, that third act saved it. I mean,
yeah,
it would have been really bad if it didn't have that ending.
Yeah.
But that ending was pretty cool. The Night at the Opera, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. This is my biggest problem with the movie. I timed it whenever I was watching it. Hour and 50 minutes long. It took 40 minutes before we actually got into like Crow talk. You know what I mean? And that was my thing, because I'm like, I haven't watched the original in so long. But like, it starts out with them getting murdered.
Yeah,
right?
it's a lot. I mean, they shouldn't even have called this The Crow.
No.
Like, it's a standalone movie, right? Like,
yeah.
Because it wasn't even like the other one. Like, here was my biggest gripe, okay? Hear me out. All right, you remember when he watches the video, and I knew he was going to watch that video, and it's like, he's going to see the video and lose the pure love.
Yes.
That's what's going to happen. You see it coming. He watches it, loses the love, dies, but he just happens to fall in some water.
Yeah.
You know? So that guy's like, you lost the love, you fucking idiot. Like, you could have had it. You could have done this. I'm leaving. And he's like, I'll give it my soul. Mine for hers. And I'm like, we're back.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate sacrifice. Like, that should be enough.
Yeah.
But no, it's not.
Yeah.
I think that dude lied to him.
Yeah.
I think when he said, you'll be able to come back, both of you. And he was like, will I be able to save her? And he was like, yeah, sure. And that one dude told him, like, you can't save her. You know, there's no, but he traded.
Yeah.
They just didn't like explain that. But I think that was what happened.
I agree. I do think that the third act saved it, but I also think that they really embellished more of the gothic love story. And at the end of the day, the movie is just that. It's a romance movie it's a goth rom, you know?
Yeah.
But it was just a brutal ending.
Yeah.
I thought, that first hour was just, it was a chore. But I mean, dude, the shotgun scene after the whole word salad from the Crow Man in the other world.
Well, Crow talk.
Yeah. After the powwow and he comes back, that whole shotgun sequence was brutal.
Yeah. I agree.
And something that I did enjoy, and I've never read all the material on the Crow, like the comic strip or any of that stuff, so I don't know how far it goes and what have you, but I did enjoy the idea that, okay, there's somebody out there that's doing the whole, we're going to kill innocent people and take their blood message. And the whole, like, him being like, I've been doing this for centuries. I tried killing the criminals, but they're already going to hell. I got to take, he's got to corrupt.
Yeah.
And, I like that whole idea. I wish there would have been more of that.
Right.
Instead of just, hey, let's have a supernatural balance to why Eric comes back.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been nice, but it's, I don't know. There's some, like, they could have really taken, like, the Shadow Realm stuff that they did, the Limbo stuff was kind of cool. I did like that a lot. Mm-hmm. But they really could have, like, leaned full into the visual spectacle of what the Crow could be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was expecting more on that end too, honestly. Because once they introduce that realm, it's like, okay, we can go CGI time if we want. And they do, but like in a diminishing return kind of way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I mean, I love Bill Skarsgård, but like he didn't have the pan ass. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you watch,
an actor's only as good as the director.
Yeah.
And they like there were moments that made him, you know, exquisite.
Yeah. Agreed. I just don't like
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
I was just saying, like, whenever they're doing like the crow talk, like we have that classic, so what are you? Some sort of demon or angel?
He's like, something like that.
He's like, do I look like an angel? Like it's very at this point you could call it elementary style, you know, character building.
Yeah, and that's my biggest thing is like I don't know in the source material, like was Eric Draven like a drug addict in prison and stuff? Like was that a thing?
I have no idea. Yeah, that
wasn't in the first one.
No.
Well, it was.
I mean, he did drugs, so was he like a rock star?
Yeah.
Yeah. He also didn't feel pain. I kind of thought that was a nice little tweak.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because in the first one, he still had like the emotional like trauma of watching his girlfriend die, but he didn't feel pain.
Yeah.
This guy like was getting fucked up, but it was healing back. But it was like when he pushed his organs back in.
Oh yeah.
And screamed. I was like, oh, nice little touch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, like, you know, when it drives that dynamic where it's like, you don't feel pain, do you? And that dude's like, I feel everything, motherfucker. You're like, oh shit. Well, like, that's, you know, a tolerance to pain, you know?
Yeah.
That's that's a cold-blooded thing, you know?
Yeah. But I guess that's one of my biggest gripes, though, is like, you know, with The Crow, the original, it's like he dies, he sees all this stuff happen, you know, he comes back, he's the spirit of vengeance, you know, if you want to look at it that way. And it's like he comes back in that original one kind of badass. Like he's still working through everything, but he comes back kind of badass. But like in this one, he starts out as like kind of a bitch.
He was a little emo.
Yeah, and then it took him a long, which of course character development and everything. You know, I get that, but
too long.
Well, it's like the first half of the movie, he's Machine Gun Kelly. Second half of the film, he's a guy named Kelly with a machine gun. You know, like.
Yeah, it's just it kind of took the whole vibe of The Crow kind of out of it, because if they wanted to make it like a pure love story and lean into it like they did, that's fine, but like make the dude like a badass, you know what I'm saying? Like really lean into it.
Yeah, or at least don't save it for the last 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
because you know when he finally locks in, does the whole my soul for yours or whatever, and he comes back, gets up out of the tub, shotguns blasts healing. And then, like, you know, the cool shit starts to happen. Like, when he takes the barrel of the shotgun and then takes the other end and just bashes that dude's brains out, I'm like, was this the same movie I was watching 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, right.
Well, like his whole Artax origin story.
Yeah.
And, dude, when his horse died, he burnt that trailer down, I think, with his mom in it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's what happened. That was in the, you know, when he was seeing all the shit that happened.
Yeah.
He saw that trailer burning that was right there behind the horse where the woman was sleeping in it.
Yeah.
And when I'm seeing the horse all tangled up like that, I'm like, bro, get some wire cutters.
Yeah, for real.
You're going to need some wire cutters. And if anybody ever puts a fucking plastic bag on your head, poke a hole in your mouth.
Yeah.
Why don't people do that?
Because they panic,
I've never seen anyone do that in a movie. And her hands were free.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just a plastic bag. I mean, they're going to kill you anyway, but.
Yeah, but you
at least have to work for it.
Yeah. But I didn't hate it. I thought it had some cool stuff, but I thought that they were going to lean into like supernatural John Wick, which they kind of did towards the end. But I thought
they wasn't enough though. They didn't do enough of it. Like, hell, it's the end of the movie.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, now this is badass. Like, yes, dude, when he was chopping motherfuckers up left and right. Like, that fucking opera was playing. Like,
and and when he's ascending the steps and he's just eating those clips, man. Like, just
knowing he can feel that. Now, I don't know of the second time when he comes back, and because when the demon gives him the powers, like Crow Demon guy, when he gives him the black blood, I think he's different then.
Right.
Because he wasn't like falling down like, ow.
Yeah.
I mean, he was unstoppable at that point. Like, dude hit him with a shotgun, and it was like, didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, there were really cool effect sequences with that action. Like when he takes like when he's just cutting people down, he gets the one guy pinned against the wall, glass goes the shit out of him, with the blade. It goes full, like,
and
literal edgelord.
So he didn't go to hell, he just turned into one of those crow dudes. Right.
Yeah, I guess he's
hanging in he's there now. He'll because when the one dude came back, like the other guy wasn't there, but he was there, like walking him through, like this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what the fuck's that in the water?
I did like the delivery where he's sitting there just feeding that motherfucker his fists in that realm and just like beating the shit out of him. And the dude's like, you have no idea where you're going. And he's like, oh, but I do. And he just fucking just chokes him the fuck out, Like, the movie does do a good job of making you want to see the action so bad that when it does kick in, you're locked in with it. You're like, hell yeah, fucking get him,
Yeah.
But you don't. But that's the thing. You can't chalk it up to, oh man, it's because it's such a good movie. You're chalking it up to about fucking time we get to something,
Yeah.
I don't really like that actress. I mean, she's a pop star in real life. Like, I mean, she's not really an actress.
Yeah. And like the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get me wrong. The soundtrack wasn't bad, but it's not Crow.
Nah. It was very electronic, kind of.
Indie electro.
Yeah, like rave. Like goth rave.
The modernization of this movie shows you that goth culture, and maybe this is heresy to some out there, but goth culture is pretty much dead, or it's been memed into like a very, like, you can't take it serious anymore.
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, who's Ruddy Mysterious over here? It's more like, dude, look at this fucking asshole,
Yeah.
Because now everyone's like, oh, Joker paint. We know where this is going.
Well, he looked like a Jelly Wolf.
Yeah.
Jelly Wolf.
The tattoos were almost too much.
Like SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
The face tattoos? Come on, man.
Yeah, it was a little much.
This dude's got a regular job, maybe. I don't think. Well, he did have a recording studio, right? Was that his?
I don't know.
Well,
we never really heard his music. It was just, he played a little bit of something.
And, and it
that
also
took the back seat. It's like he's a musician,
And it also, another thing with the movie is that they wanted you to support and get behind this couple who make really piss poor decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, he just met this chick. He don't know her.
It's like, we could live like this forever. Oh, you mean popping MDMA and drinking lean?
Yeah.
And not giving a fuck? I mean, sure. Everybody's in their early 20s.
Yeah. There's in a rehab. I mean, it's like a prison.
Yeah.
And
Pink
and they
suits.
put the chicks in there with the guys.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Maybe in a halfway house.
Step into the circle if you've ever felt like it was your fault when it wasn't.
And it's just
You
them
know,
two
like-
moving up, looking at each other. And I'm like, God.
dude, that's a South Park bit waiting to happen. Like, step into the circle if you've ever stolen a donut when you in fact wanted a biscuit, you know?
And they hit it off over the tattoos.
Yeah.
He's like, nice tattoo. It's like, would it have been made sense if he was like a tattoo artist then? Like,
Yeah. It's just some like really interesting decisions that was made in making this movie.
letting the dudes yell at him?
Yeah.
What
right.
point was that?
None.
The only time they did a callback to it was when he was getting his ass kicked later and he was going to supercharge.
Yeah.
And he remembered the guys yelling at him and burning
Yeah.
his trailer down when he was a kid. And it's like, I mean, weird flex, bro.
Yeah.
They were straight calling him some names too. Like,
Yeah. But I mean, I didn't hate it, but if I had to choose,
oh yeah,
definitely watching the original over
Yep.
that for sure.
I mean, in the event of was it worth it? I don't think it was, guys.
No.
Well, dude, Brandon Lee's dialogue in the other movie, his delivery, it's like, wow, this guy just started acting.
Yeah.
Holy shit, like Joker level. When you go back and watch clips of him doing dialogue, you can see, like, I'm pretty sure Heath Ledger was like, I'm doing that, but the Joker.
Yeah.
Like the way he delivers these little things, like,
his cadence and
he was just so
everything.
cool.
Yeah.
Like, and this guy, like, he tried to go Crow a little bit at the end, like when he had the face paint. I was like, okay. And it was tattoo ink.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, good luck getting that off.
Right.
But when he was like looking at people and he was turning his head sideways like a dog, you know,
Yeah.
Crow would do that a little bit. But like the dialogue just wasn't there. Like sometimes you could feel him when he was talking English, speaking English, you could feel him slipping in and out of his accent.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah. He
Like
muddled the line
a few
little
times
bit.
he said something and I was like, whoop, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Like, no dialect coach on this movie. But the ending saved, like, you get all the way there and it's like, well, at least we get a badass, what felt like a 30-minute, battle.
Yeah.
What was weird is when they bust out of that window, like they were in the underworld.
Yeah. And that was cool.
And see, once again, it leads to the whole desire to have more of the supernatural stuff.
Yeah.
And some of the more overarching themes
Well,
really
like the
explored
guy,
more and
I would
fleshed
rather
out.
know what the demon dude's doing more than like, okay, they're in love. Like once they broke out of there, we should have cut to the other guy and seen what he was about, what he's been doing. I mean, there's obviously some eyes wide shut shit going on here.
Yeah.
Like all these people worked for him. They knew. Even the girl's mother knew. I mean, I
Almost
like the
paid
little thing
off
he
the
would do
way-
where he would
yeah.
fucking,
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of cool. But it would have been nice than having all the. It's like we get it, they're in love.
Yeah.
Like it's his first time.
It's
Well,
just
and that-
like I said a minute ago. It's just really hard to back romance when it's like when it's. I don't know. I know there's got to be a
Well, your
movie.
Crow
I know that
audience. Don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It was like, okay, his girlfriend died, and that happened like fast in the other movie,
Yeah.
and then it's just him fucking everybody up
Yeah.
for the
Yeah,
rest of
because
the movie.
if
And
I'm not
delivering good
mistaken,
dialogue when he's doing it, like talking, fucking with their head.
oh yeah. Well, like the the dialogue being better, I absolutely agree with that. And yeah, because in the original, I believe it was like him and the girlfriend were just a product of circumstance.
Yeah. But he loved her, like, because the way they tried to connect it, like, I don't think this is a reboot or a remake. They were trying to say, like, this crow shit, this happens. The guy explained it to him. Whenever this happens, whenever someone They got to right the wrongs, and they die, and they loved them pure. They get a chance to fix it. It's like, okay, like the other movies. So this is just the same world. But the other guy didn't go to no fucking, puddle dimension. Maybe they didn't have one then. I don't know.
He built it. Yeah,
the crow shit. When the one crow went in the back of him, I remember seeing in the trailer there was a moment where a bunch of crows like went into him or came out of him. Was not in the movie.
Do you think there was some stuff that was on the editing floor?
Well, remember when we were reading articles about this movie, there was some reshoots. There was some stuff going on. The company that decided to do the thing, they had a problem with budget. It wasn't like, and then the AI came along and they were like, we'll use that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that if they would have gave us 10 minutes of them at the beginning of the movie where you kind of see their relationship and like how much, he cares about her and all that stuff. And then they could have taken the rest of that stuff and used it as flashbacks and paced the movie out a little bit better. I think that would have helped a lot.
Like anytime he would have died, he could have seen something or.
Well, like this movie was 100% like a Bollywood script, but handled by a bunch of Americans.
Yeah. It needed to be 4 hours to fully get it across.
A TV show.
Yeah.
How about that?
I mean, I would watch it.
You'd have plenty of time to.
Yeah.
Then you could build up the demon guy. You could build up the underworld. Like, there's a lot going on here. Like, who's that guy's boss down, in the underworld?
Yeah.
Who's he taking orders from? Is he the boss?
Yeah. How's the pecking
Who's the
order?
guy in when they they go across the river?
Oh,
is it Hades?
The river.
Yeah.
I mean, was that him?
No, it was. I think that guy's like Kython or something like that.
Okay.
No,
but you know what I mean? The dude that's in.
Yeah.
Because the water, the river, that makes sense.
He's the ferryman.
Yeah. And he should have talked like this. I'm the ferryman, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's played by.
You got a bunch of crows there, isn't it? Like
a bit odd, isn't it?
He's like something like that.
Yeah.
It shows an American going, I was checking my credit score.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff they could have done differently. I didn't hate it. I just feel like, I don't know. It makes sense why this has been in development hell for 20 years.
Why it's going right back in it.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, it's cool. Well, and as cool as the first movie came across, the original Crow isn't a particularly great movie. You always got to remember. It's
just Brandon Lee that blew that up. Him dying is what? The same thing with Heath Ledger, oddly.
Yes, 100%.
It blew that up, and his performance is great, but you're right. It's some cheesy moments.
Yeah.
It's a 90s movie.
Yeah.
Goth movie,
And I think it absolutely hit warp speed and became a cheesy 2000s goth movie or 2020s goth movie. The music, there was one track that was playing that was cool, but I've already forgotten it, so it must not have been that cool. But the whole, you know, goth music. You got like a little indie beat playing, and the guy's like, well, we're all here now, and we're all upset, and, that type of shit.
They need a little Megadeth.
Yeah.
A little Crush 'em.
Or Angel of Death by Slayer.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see them, actually focus on the musician part of it and, have it be like a little bit of a heavier...
Instead of that Billie Eilish shit they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't really match the tattoos.
No. He looked like Pete Davidson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like Pete Davidson and Machine Gun Kelly.
with a weird ass haircut, like
Yeah, it's like a faux bowl cut.
yeah,
thing.
with a bullet,
yeah.
a
It's like, what
fold.
are we doing?
a full bullet.
But yeah, I mean, it just
I mean, I would. What this does, though, is it presents the opportunity that I think I would absolutely entertain the idea of a Skarsgård Joker performance, though. Because
Sure.
once again, it's not that he's a bad actor.
No.
It's bad direction in this movie.
Well, that just goes to show you that by just having a Skarsgård, that's not going to win it.
no.
This was proof. Because, like, dude, everything they put one of them in, banger. And I get why he agreed to do it. It's like he probably grew up watching that movie. You know, The Crow's cool. He's like, I'm a big Sting fan. Not the singer.
Yeah, I'm giving it a half star.
Half star.
Yeah.
No more, no
And that's
less.
just because of that badass fight.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
At the end. I mean, it was badass.
The ending saves it into the half star realm.
When fucking A Night at the Opera kicks, when it's Don't Stop Me Now, and he's just fucking
Yeah.
having a ball.
Him walking out there on that stage with them heads was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, there was some cool shit, but like,
He was holding
Yeah.
the one by its teeth.
yeah.
He had one finger in its mouth holding it, like.
Well, like
Right.
just the
sword,
way
too, like.
it was very. There were some creative deaths in the movie, like when he was impaled and he just took it and put it through dude's fucking head.
That was
Like
cool.
there, like on a
Oh, that
on a-
whole
okay.
scene was badass. He stabbed the guy through the guy, then shot the dude through himself. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it
Oh, yeah,
got
whenever-
John Wick real quick. Like, quick.
There was a moment where G knew I was watching the movie, and I told him, I said that I'd commented to him, I was like, the shotgun scene's awesome. He goes, get your vape.
Yeah,
It wasn't lying.
I think it better.
And yeah, like I'm sitting there vaping my face off while this dude's just straight cutting people down.
You can't turn away. You'll miss something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's all happening
went-
so fast.
he went sushi chef on him.
Yes, he did.
But yeah, I think 1.5. It deserves that.
Yeah.
But somebody will come along at some point and put together
Like Matthew
know.
McConaughey.
a legit Crow movie.
He's like, "You strangled my girlfriend."
I think the plus side is that this is one of those movies. It's a gateway movie.
Yeah.
Somewhere out there's some young kid getting into the edgier side of cinema and movies as a whole, and watch this, probably thinks it's the absolute shit, and he's about to start his journey into finding he or she.
Well, it'll definitely
start
make them
there.
go back and watch the old one too. They're like The Crow. When they Google it, the other one comes up.
Well, it's like it's in that spectrum where it's like, okay, they're gonna watch this, all right. They're gonna hop, skip, and turn and fall right into Boondock Saints,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then skip to my to all those other films.
When I read
that's
the
cool.
reviews,
So-
a lot of the positive reviews were from the ladies.
Of course.
They really liked it.
I mean,
Well,
shirtless Skarsgård.
at the end
Yeah.
of the day,
Some of them even
despite
said
the
they went to the theater twice.
it's a romance movie, and it's absolutely in full display. But it just is very lacking in terms of having an action film feel,
Yeah.
And maybe that's not the intent, but yeah, I absolutely can see why.
I
one
could see
demographic would
where date
this
night
over
movie
other.
guys
Yeah.
taking
Oh,
their
yeah.
girlfriends to see this. They love the part. Oh, he gave his soul for hers, and then the fight comes in at the end. The boyfriends are like badass.
Yeah.
So it probably did well with that.
Yeah. But yeah. Could use a little work, but
And
It's fine.
they did little homages to the original Crow. They whenever he finally levels up and gets the jacket, they play the classic melody from the old movie. You got the crow flying through the city shot, like little things like that do remind you, like, okay, there are other films before it, and kind of like how you guys were saying, like it's not a sequel, it's not a prequel, it's just there's another crow, and there's more of them. There's a murder per se.
Yeah,
you gotta right the wrongs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Follow the crowd.
Well, I got a little movie news here if y'all want to hit on that real quick.
Sure enough.
So David Harbour gives us an early Christmas gift with his Violent Night 2 update. So it says here that Harbour has now offered a promising update regarding Violent Night 2 after being told about fan demand for the follow-up by comicbook.com. This is a quote. "I don't think you're alone in that desire. Well, keep your eyes peeled, because I also love that movie. And I think that Universal is excited about that idea as well. So we're working a little bit. I do think there's some very talented people working on it. So yeah, I'm excited about it." So it certainly sounds like Violent Night 2 is currently being put together by the action movie Elves, which should make a lot of big kids very happy. Directed by Tommy Wirkola. The first Violent Night finds David Harbour. We already know what all that is. Details of what we might see in the Violent Night sequel are unknown at present, but director Tommy Wirkola has teased what we might see, with the filmmaker hoping to offer new takes on more of the Santa lore, including elves and Mrs. Claus. Of course, the writers have talked about it, and I've thrown some ideas out there. We don't see the North Pole, we don't see Miss Claus, and we don't see the elves. There are also a few ideas that we loved in the script, but we had to cut them because we couldn't afford to shoot them. It's such a cliche to say, but we all had a blast doing the film, so I really hope we get to explore it more. I mean, wait, it says David Harbour, meanwhile, has pitched his ideas for Violent Night 2 and wants to transform the action outing into something akin to a live-action Rise of the Guardians, with Gladiator 2 and The Last of Us star Pedro Pascal as the Easter Bunny. We got to get Pedro Pascal and Oscar Isaac to play the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy in the next iteration. The Santa Cinematic Universe with a bunch of daddies as imaginary creatures.
I like that.
How crazy would that be?
Yeah. Krampus?
Yeah. That would
Why
be
not?
nuts.
Krampus is like the hole.
I mean,
You just
here's
can't
the thing.
control him. You got to aim him like a cannon.
All they got to do is make it violent.
Yeah.
Like Santa Claus 2, but violent.
There has been an overwhelming surge
and violence?
of very violent Christmas movies.
Oh, yeah. Well, they finally settled the debate on Die Hard, and it's like, that counts? We're making them violent. Rated R Christmas movies.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that, Christmas movies have been dominated by Hallmark movies and family movies for years. I mean, we'll occasionally get, a more adult, Bad Santa, things like that. We'll occasionally get that, but it's like, why not make,
it's something new.
A badass action
Santa.
movie?
Bad Santa is a yearly tradition.
Love it.
Oh yeah.
Here at the Travis.
Not Knops Manor.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like that's just something that I'd noticed that they were like, let's make Christmas bloody.
Yeah. And the first Violent Night was great. It's amazing to me, honestly, that it's taken them this long to get a sequel off the ground.
Yeah.
Because, the original one came out, 2 or 3 years ago? 2022. So, yeah, it came out 2 years ago. This should be coming out this year. You know what I mean? But so hopefully, and why not like just bring it to streaming? I'm sure Netflix, I mean, would love to throw money at this because people loved it. So
or
why not?
Or he's already he's already got an in at Netflix too.
Exactly.
Stranger Things.
Yeah. So, but yeah, hopefully in the next year or two we'll see the Violent Night follow up here. So Andrew Garfield reveals why he dropped out of Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. In a recent interview with Deadline, Garfield explained that he was disappointed to step away from playing Frankenstein's monster in Guillermo del Toro's upcoming adaptation. With the release of We Live in Time, which is earning the actor some of the highest praise of his career, Garfield has been exceptionally busy. So Jacob Elordi, I can never pronounce that dude's last name, was tasked with filling his role in Del Toro's Gothic tale. While Garfield was disappointed at having to let the role go, he admitted that he was happy to be replaced by Saltburn's Jacob Elordi, who seemed to have greatly enjoyed the opportunity. And then it talks about Spider-Man, of course, after that. But could you see Andrew Garfield as Frankenstein's monster? I mean, the dude from Saltburn's tall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it kind of makes a little bit more sense to be Frankenstein's
I got that monster. Frankenstein forehead, too.
And the chin, right? Yeah. The Frankenstein chin? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just put some bolts in that neck, and he's good to go. But yeah, I thought that this was pretty interesting. I'm excited to see what Del Toro's take on it, and hopefully there's no Frankenstein banging.
Yeah. Well, what if he said, the reason I dropped out is because I read the script.
Yeah, it's yeah.
You'll see.
You're going to bang.
Frankenstein.
It's got him knuckle busting with those bolts on his neck. Like,
oh, God.
knuckle busting with the bolts.
The saintly act.
I mean,
Wilfred season 1. The saintly act of knuckle busting. Ryan.
It's a pelican, Ryan. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It is in post-production. Pretty sure it'll be out hopefully next year, right? So hopefully it's good stuff. It's been a while since Del Toro's dropped something that's like kind of blown us away, right? So hopefully that'll be the thing that does it. I mean, we're getting Nosferatu this year.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to be getting Frankenstein. Hopefully we're going to get some good bangers. So yeah, Lord of the Rings, guys. Lord of the Rings franchise future update is sure to have fans worried. The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim, I can never pronounce that either. Writer Philippa Boyens has teased a big future for the franchise, including another live-action trilogy. Speaking with the playlist about the big screen anime Middle-earth outing, Boyens revealed that the Lord of the Rings Brain Trust are working on a wealth of ideas. This is what he had to say. So we're in the audience hands. If there's an appetite for it, we've got more stories. There's a ton of stories left to be told there, and some really, really interesting ones. But my preference would be, after Hunt for Gollum, would be to look at those standalone stories, and then if we got really ambitious, there are some epic particular stories that could translate into that more traditional epic trilogy format that was original Lord of the Rings, the War of the Rings story. Middle-earth is expanding, with the Lord of the Rings franchise having already grown beyond the original trilogy and the lesser Hobbit movies. The world of J.R.R. Tolkien has now moved onto the small screen with the likes of Prime Video's The Rings of Power, returning to the big screen this year in animated form with The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim, I don't know. Clearly, Warner Brothers has big plans for the future. So, I mean, what do you guys think about, we watched the original trilogy recently, or I guess the only trilogy recently. The extended edition, amazing. One of the greatest trilogies of all time. No chuffa, no nothing. Rings of Power, I've heard good, I've heard bad, I haven't watched it.
I've heard more bad than good.
Yeah.
You know, in a perfect world, not Tolkien, but Peter Jackson has secretly been hard at work doing a Silmarillion adaptation. And that, because those stories are what we really need.
Yeah.
The War for the Silmaril, like they could do so much with that. They could tell a story that has the same scope as the War for the Ring, but have it fresh and different with some, actually show, go through the creation story of Middle Earth and all of the little nuggets involved with that.
Well, from what I understand, the Rings of Power, they have a lot of characters from the trilogy, right? You've got younger versions of, some of the characters that kind of provides like a link to that trilogy. Do you think that Lord of the Rings could suffer from the Star Wars syndrome, the Skywalker syndrome, if you will, to where if it's like the diehard fans will enjoy it because of the source material, but your average fan may not be as interested in watching it because it doesn't have a direct correlation to the original trilogy?
I mean,
I see what you mean.
yes. I think it's yes and no. Yes, for the reasons you stated, but no, because if they crafted it properly, they could lay the groundwork to make it to where these films could be required viewing if you wanted.
Right.
It could build up to, because it's all one big continuity. Of course, liberties would have to be taken because, kind of like, any sprawling world and universe, like there's hundreds of years of time that pass in these stories. But you can do things, to set and lay the groundwork for why we pick up with where certain things are in the Lord of the Rings. Why those,
Right. So
there's too many to really count and really point out. There's not enough time in the podcast for it. But like there's like for instance, for me personally, it would just be amazing to see how all the wizards come in, like in the mythology behind the wizards, why Gandalf has the powers that he does, like, a Bradagast, all of them.
I think it also depends on who makes it.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. It's kind of like the Star Wars movie. Once they hit certain hands,
yes,
stuff just kind of, did they mention in that article, they've canceled Rings of Power? Y'all know that, right?
No.
Okay, that was canceled on October, or in October. So it's been canceled. I think that's why they're talking about this now. Like,
right. Do you think that it would be a good idea for them to have, like, maybe Sam or one of the other notable characters from the original to come in and kind of be like a narrator, kind of telling the story, quote unquote, that happened before? Like if they were to adapt that story into a trilogy.
Take a legacy character and kind of have these sets of stories be them passing it on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you could make that work with anyone. I mean, you could make it be something as simple as a story that Gandalf is explaining to the dwarves, or to, you can do things that isn't necessarily lore breaking.
Yes. Yeah, I think, to me, honestly, if they want to get, because the name, of course, is going to sell the ideas a lot, but I don't want it to be something that is like really, really good, but gets mixed audience reactions because they're familiar faces that they're used to from 20 plus years ago at this point are not there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean that they could do something as simple as instead of deceptively telling people Lord of the Rings, where we're dealing with the Rings of Power, Sauron, all that, and be able to move away from it, simply call it something like the Unfinished Tales of Middle Earth, or the Saga of Middle Earth, or I mean, like you can do so much with so little to convey that yes, we're dealing with the same world that The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings takes place in, and this is obviously being talked about in a way that you can get normies involved in it. Yeah. But you can use things in the title to get away from that core story, but understand that it's going to be vital to it.
Right.
I got to point out that's not confirmed. I just read a little more. Here is something that's confirmed. Peter Jackson spent $281 million to make those 3 movies. They have spent $1 billion on this series.
Jesus.
I mean, whoever makes it, like you said, Adam, it's all in how you make it.
They spent a shitload of money on the rights.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
So I think they're going to see it through with making,
Yeah, for 39 pages of source material, I think.
I mean, Bezos has got the money. He'll finish it. He must be a fan of money.
Rings of Power, like, for all that it had its, controversies and stuff, that wasn't what put me off. What put me off was that the interesting stories that I wanted to see got summed up in the first 5 minutes while they were using it as exposition to set where they're at. Like, I want to see the original, like, battle between, like, Morgoth.
Yeah.
Did you watch it all?
No.
Okay. I'm not sure how. I know there's at least 2 seasons, right?
I know. I know. Like, it's weird. I know people who watched it that are really big Lord of the Rings fans, and they really enjoyed it. And that's very, very off the cuff, considering the majority of people are like, no, Rings of Power was just pure sacrilege to Tolkien.
Well,
so
that's why it's like, is this a good idea?
I think with enough time to breathe, like with any franchise, if it can breathe for a little while, have a bit of a palate cleanse, and then try it again, I think it could be an absolute banger, because the Tolkien universe will be timeless. There will never be a period where the Lord of the Rings is not going, like, it's ingrained in pop culture like Star Wars. There'll never be a time where you can pump a property out like this and people go, what's Lord of the Rings, or what's Star Wars?
Right.
So they have that on their side. And if they just gave themselves a little time to just kind of let people just kind of recollect why they enjoy this franchise so much, and then pop something out of quality, then because quality conveys 2 different things now. I'm sure the rest of Rings of Power on a quality level look fantastic. Like, some of the visuals look amazing. But quality of visual doesn't mean the content's quality.
Yeah. I agree.
I think it's suffering a lot. The bad reviews are from like this. So I haven't seen it, but I was listening to Riffin with Griffin. He had Bobby Lee and his brother on there. And they started talking about it because they're all nerds and they watched it. And this is what Bobby Lee said his biggest gripe was. And he's like not against like the whole inclusion thing. But he was like, so this is like, what is it? How many years before the original movies? It's a very long time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
10,000 years or something. I mean, it's a long time.
Yeah.
He said, there's all of these people and stuff that's in this that, where are they in the other movies? Where'd they all go? Why would they not be there? There should be more of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what he was getting. It's like, why'd they have to add that?
Right.
You know, you didn't have to do that. Like, it's just tell the story. So I think you're going to get a lot of people doing that. You know, when they're like, well, this isn't the story. I mean, the guy that wrote this was in the trenches, right?
Yeah.
In World War II, when he came up with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
One of the World Wars.
I
Absolutely.
believe it was 2. I think. But, like, will they ever reach a point where, like Star Wars, they've already told the hell about all the, now they're just making shit up.
yeah.
Will they ever branch? I mean, there's a lot going on in this world. Will we ever reach out and tell a story that's not connected to all these other? I mean, it'll still be connected, but there might be some stuff that, you know, some new.
Yeah.
Well, like, you know, one thing that's prevalent throughout the Lord of the Rings is that there's these eras where these different races are the dominant power. There's the race of men, the race of dwarves, the race of elves, and the eras that reflect those. And it's when they come into existence and they come in from the east to inhabit Middle Earth. And, you know, there's so many, you know, there's stories within stories for that, you know?
Well, like when Frodo destroyed the ring, it's not going to stop there.
No.
I mean, just because the book's finished and he didn't write anything else, really. You know what I mean? Like, evil's still there. It can still happen. There will be another uprising at some point. Maybe get into that. Whenever someone buys the rights, because it'll happen one day where someone can acquire them and be like, now you can do whatever.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe the estate's keeping that from happening.
Yeah.
Because this show, 2 seasons, possibly 3. Well, I mean, there's a lot of money that they've lost. It's not doing well on the streaming service.
Right.
I mean, you know, no matter what anybody said, it's not doing well. When do they, you know, and how many pages? Did you say 28?
39.
You got 2 seasons of 39 pages? I think somebody added a little something.
Right.
Yeah.
They embellish.
I mean, that's
39
pages. That's not even an hour of, like, you know.
There are scripts longer than that.
Pretty sure
30 minutes.
Scripts to Seinfeld longer than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think they wanted to keep their
Larry
scripts.
David get a hold of it.
Yeah.
He's like, why should I do this? Why shouldn't I keep
I'm just saying, why are we going to a volcano?
Yeah. We put the ring on, we slip in, we take the soup. Larry David. He's like, what?
What was that?
Serenity now.
So we got a little bit of Superman news here. So the term reshoots has become synonymous with people assuming the worst about films, particularly comic book movies. Both Marvel and DC Studios fans have become familiar with the term, with additional filming happening for a number of significant projects in the past. One of the most infamous was Joss Whedon's reshoots for 2017's Justice League, and the most recent being a number of reshoots and delays to 2025's Captain America Brave New World. Now, with reports of additional photography being done for James Gunn's Superman surfacing, there is almost immediate concern. However, Gunn himself quells any worries with a statement on social media. When a discussion of reshoots on Superman came about on social media, Gunn took to Threads to explain precisely what shooting would be done for the film when asked by a fan. The director would say that the reports were sort of true, and that it would not be a few days of reshoots. Instead, Gunn would specify that the Superman production team was doing a day and a half of pickup shots. No scenes, no reshoots, just a handful of individual shots to enhance the film. Given the way that reports of additional filming are treated on social media landscape, it's hard to blame Gunn for his quick response to make it clear that there wouldn't be anything substantial. Moreover, Gunn has a history of not only being very transparent about his filmmaking process, but also his efficiency during production. From detailing his storyboards to having a strict shooting schedule, the director wastes no time bringing his visions to life. It's crazy that we've got to this point now, to where whenever someone says reshoots, but it makes sense.
Well,
like,
it's
I get
always
it.
reshoots have always been a thing. Almost every movie has pickup shots. It's like stuff they just need. You know, can't make it look good with effects. Maybe they thought they could, or dude might be bulkier now. They're like, let's get some muscles.
But yeah, it's, you know, I get it. Whenever, you know, we hear reshoots on like major productions, Borderlands, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
that was like a month reshoot. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that panned out. That checked out. Like,
yeah. But I'm glad that Gunn's being transparent about it. And there's a lot of people that's talked about how good the trailer for the Superman movie is, and they've seen some test footage and said that it's, you know, it's great and all that kind of stuff. So, I think it'll be fine, but it's funny that everybody flipped out this way. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Well, it just shows you that even James Gunn is like he can't dodge the reshoot bullet, you know?
Yeah. I mean, dude, how many reshoots you think Cameron had to do on those Avatar movies?
dude,
you know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest.
Every movie has reshoots.
Yeah.
If they got the budget for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my apprehension because it's like I don't understand DC's weird obsession and approach to handling Superman. On the one hand, cinematically, people completely complained and bitched about the grimdark aspects of Superman and how Zack Snyder handled that character. Well, on the other hand, people, like right now, there's currently a run called Absolute Superman. And it is by and large a darker telling of Superman. And it is flying off the shelves. And then you have the James Gunn Superman film that is going to be a more upbeat, classic take to the Superman character, which there's nothing wrong with it, but it's, you know, I was along for the ride with Henry Cavill, and I will forever, like, he's my Superman. Man,
Yeah,
you know, we
got several movies out of that. Like,
yeah, and maybe
you know,
this guy will
he
do a
looks
great
good
job.
in the suit. Look at that article image.
Hey, at the end of
He
the
kind of
day,
looks like Cavill.
at the end of the day, more Superman is still a good day for me.
I don't know how I feel about the dog, but we'll see. You know,
But it's just strange. Like there's this weird not dichotomy, but this weird duality that Superman's undergoing right now.
Yeah.
but
Well,
I think the
Man,
studio will let them handle it this time and not do what they did last time. They meddled in it.
yeah.
You can't do that. If someone's,
Yeah.
I mean, if they would have let that dude see his vision out, it would have been great.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, Man of Steel had to crawl so that, you know, the more grittier Superman story could walk.
Or
You
the
know what I
Snyder
mean?
Cut.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, we thought we'd never see that.
yeah.
I'm still certain we'll see the air cut at some point. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
they'll release it online. I mean, why not? It's
agree.
finished.
Yeah.
I think he's just whatever dude's got going on right now. Maybe like an anniversary, but whatever Gunn's got going on. You know, he just finished. They wrapped on Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So that'll be coming out. Great show.
I'm calling it right now because I feel like it's obvious at this point. The Superman trailer is probably going to debut at the Super Bowl.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Especially since the trailer that's been put together for test audience right now is doing so well. I could see them doing some more light editing to it, and that's going to be our Super Bowl trailer.
I could see, or they might drop it around Christmas.
Maybe
Now,
a teaser.
That would be, yeah. I am glad that the teasers are going away.
Well, when I say teaser, I'm like over a minute, but not 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, that way they can see, because they're testing with audiences, but once you put it out there for the masses, you're really going to get some feedback.
Oh, yeah.
Well, when it comes to comic book movies, just give us 2 solid minutes of pure comic book drip. You know what I mean?
Don't show me everything.
Yeah, but show us something fucking good. Like get that hype train rolling down the rail, you know?
Well, the release is July 11th.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's got to happen soon.
Yeah. Remember the trailer for the Brandon Routh Superman movie where it shows him get shot in the eye?
The bullet in the eye?
I mean, everybody remembers that if they were around.
That's kind of all I remember.
Yeah.
And him crying, I think. I think he cried.
Yeah.
Super tears.
I don't remember that. Yeah. I don't remember that.
I think his eye watered when that bullet hit it.
Yeah. Mine would if I got a bullet in it.
Yeah. I got a bullet in my eye. I'm rubbing it.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know,
It's a
dude.
kryptonite bullet.
Yeah. But last up here, we got some Spider-Man news. Speaking to Deadline, producer Amy Pascal revealed how Spider-Man 4 will continue the story following No Way Home's emotional ending. One of the most famous Spider-Man comics of all time sees Peter Parker give up being Spider-Man, but the new movie is flipping the script. We have to deal with the fact that he decided he was going to give up being Peter Parker, Pascal said, and that he was going to focus on being Spider-Man because being Peter Parker was too hard. So that is what the movie's about. Plot details give audiences a vague understanding of where the movie will go. Holland will reprise his role as Peter Parker with Shang-Chi's destined Daniel Cretton directing. It has not been confirmed whether Zendaya and Jacob Batalon will return. At the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, Peter Parker bittersweetly lets his friends continue their lives with no memory of him. If the pair do appear in Spider-Man 4, expect Peter Parker to try and rekindle that forgotten friendship. That's a pretty interesting take. I'm not mad at that.
Well, and I think it follows suit with the idea that I think regardless of how much Tom Holland says he can keep playing Spider-Man, that doesn't really matter. The studio will have Spider-Man as long as they want him to be around. But I think this follows right in line with the idea that I think that we're going to get a passing of the torch, and this is probably going to be our Miles Morales introduction.
Well, let me add something. Let me add, because there's more Spider-Man news today. Our Spider-Man villain spinoff universe, it's dead. Kraven the Hunter will be the final film in that for now. Sony. That doesn't sound good for that movie. Now, they just dropped The Last Dance. That just hit VOD. It's out. But they're saying, I saw it today, discussing film, 12 hours ago. He was like, Sony Spider-Man villain spinoff universe is dead. Kraven the Hunter is the last one. For now, they're saying, So they're going back to focus on Spider-Man. Well, they weren't all the best.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, the Venom probably was the best, right?
Well, it's the only one that got
better
sequels.
Than Morbius or what was that, Lady Web?
Yeah, I haven't even watched that.
Madam Web.
But think about it though. the plot of the movie is that he's choosing to be Spider-Man because being Peter Parker's too hard. Well, the lesson he's going to learn from that movie is to just be himself.
I mean,
Yeah.
So he's going to give up being
going back to the
Spider-Man, going to be Peter Parker, but understanding that there must always be a Spider-Man. So what do? You get the next guy in.
Yeah. Well, it's like that Batman movie. It's like you got to go be Bruce Wayne for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be Batman all the time, brother.
Yeah.
You got to be you. I'm not hopeful for Craven.
Yeah.
I'm going to be.
I'm definitely going to watch it, but the fact that they're pulling the plug after that one.
I watched the 8-minute drop
beginning of the movie.
Craven.
It's the first 8 minutes of the movie. Yeah, I haven't
of
seen
all of them. I had more fun watching Craven than I did the others. Is it cheesy? Yes, but in a fun way.
Better than Morbius.
I urge you, gentlemen, to give it a go.
The movie?
I mean, when it drops,
definitely.
I mean that little clip. Like the clip's not bad.
I just didn't want to watch the movie.
Or what they give you isn't bad. Yeah,
it's like the intro of the movie.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily it's not.
That's what it said. It said it's the first 8 minutes of the movie.
If it's the intro, then holy shit, it is going to be bad. But yeah, it sets up that Craven's, it's yeah. Whatever. I'm glad that the Sonyverse is dying. It needs to die. I don't know why it got started to begin with. But
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right here. Open in 8 minutes. Yeah. That's when you click the link. It says that.
A lot of Soviet music. I'll put it that way.
I mean,
definitely gonna watch it. I mean, I'm gonna watch Last Dance. I mean, hell, watch them all.
Yeah, might as well.
This one, the trailer looked fun.
Yeah. It looked goofy, but in a fun way.
Silly goose time.
Yeah.
He's got his own Wilfred.
Yeah. But yeah, that was all the movie news that I saw.
Yeah, all I saw was that little tidbit that they were done.
A little titty bit.
I think that drops soon. A Craven movie. Pretty sure it's not next year.
I think it drops Friday.
Craven Moorhead. December the 13th. Europe?
Hell yeah. But yeah, I'm ready for some trailers.
All right. We got John Lithgow.
Jeffrey Rush. Is this like a second-hand line situation?
Maybe. Here we go. Low budge. Oh. Mm. Kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Damn, nobody believes you. Oh, he's what about bobbing you, dude? Hell yeah. Oh. His teeth look fucking wild.
Yeah.
I bet the judge is the reason that he's in there.
Oh, yeah.
Stephen King. Nah. Bet.
It looks pretty good. I like Jeffrey Rush and Lithgow, so.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right. It's over. The Return. Is this the Return of the King?
It's got Rafe in it.
Uh-oh.
Are we getting the fucking Odyssey?
Adapted from Odyssey. Yes.
This is gonna be awesome.
Oh, bet.
Oh, dude. Yes.
He's in shape for a 61-year-old.
Yeah.
All right.
Man, he's gonna string that bow, send it
Shoot
through
that
them
hole.
axe heads. When you hear him go close the gate, that's him and his son, dude. They get in there. He strings the bow, sends it through it in front of all those people. Then him and his son proceed to kill every fucking one of those dudes. Because they're fucking with his wife the whole movie. Like, yo, bitch, like, let's... When you gonna fucking move on? When you gonna let us be king? This, that, and the other, dude. And it's a badass, like, daddy's home moment. Like, I mean, spoiler alert, but it's the fucking Odyssey. Give me a break.
Yeah.
This is the movie that Jamie Foxx almost died on.
Oh, shit.
And
Okay.
it's finished now and it's coming out. By the way, I watched his Netflix. He dropped a special yesterday. where he talks about it's called What Happened Was. Genius title. It was good. Brain bleed.
Really?
Yep.
Jesus.
Thought he had a headache, asked for an aspirin, passed out, didn't remember the next 20 days. Woke up, couldn't walk. Stroke,
Damn.
brain bleed, whatever you want to call it. Piedmont in Atlanta saved him. Was thanking God a lot during the thing, but said dropped a lot of GDs. That's all I'm going to say. I was like, man, maybe lay off the... He's like, brain bleeds don't happen to motherfucker Jamie Foxx. You know? Makes you wonder why. All right, I'm going to play this. But he's back. Had to learn how to walk again.
That's so crazy.
He even talked about the people saying he was cloned.
Really?
Yeah, he had a whole bit on that. I've always liked Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
This is the first time that Cameron Diaz has been in a movie, I think, since The Box. I think. I'm going to look it up. Like, it's been like 10 years. Oh, she was in Annie in 2014. Daddy Wore Books with Jamie Foxx. It's a little 10-year break, no big deal. Looks the same.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's back. So I have an ad
Yeah, me
for
too.
Wix. Okay. So this is like, do y'all remember The Wrestler?
Yeah.
Okay. This is called The Last Showgirl with Pam Anderson. And this is like The Wrestler if it was Showgirls.
Okay.
You know, like washed up,
Yeah.
should beat a piece of meat. Like it works. I think it's low budget, but it's getting a lot of buzz. And it's got dude in it. She could use a win.
Yeah.
They put her in some pretty bad movies. Barbed Wire. Got the little Jay Lee.
She might win an award.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Look, it's all handheld.
Yeah.
Kind of got that I, Tanya vibe. You know, that's like a young lady's business there.
Yeah.
What a hairdo. That's got to be a wig,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
I just don't see that hair growing out of that nutsack on top of his head. Like, it's all in her head. Black Swan. There's a twist.
it looks good.
We read an article about this at one point. The Gorge. Remember something about it?
Got Anya in it.
Not my tempo.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Dude, they should put him. I just seeing him like this. I'm like, Cliffhanger remake.
Yeah.
He'd be great. No ads.
No, I'm good.
Good, Trev.
Yeah, I'm good.
Dude, there's a massive gorge in North Georgia.
Yeah.
Y'all got a gorge over there, right?
I think so.
I think the pocket is the pocket a gorge.
It may be. I'm not sure.
Is she Russian?
Black Widow.
Macaroni and cheese. An elite sniper. Oh.
What's up, Sig?
Damn.
It's just made out of concrete.
Yeah. All he needs is some Starlink. Uh-oh. He's going to fall in love with the gorge lady. What? Is it sci-fi? Oh, my God. Sold American. The director of The Black Phone did this. Doctor Strange, the first one. Deliverance from Evil, Sinister, The Day the Earth Stood Still. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Hellraiser Inferno. Bad. And Snowpiercer, the TV series. He was working on Black Phone 2. I'll go down there. That's against protocol.
Yeah, somebody's getting fired. I didn't see the harness. No regulations.
Just a parachute. The Mist.
So is it a movie or a
Movie.
series? Okay.
Hang on, let me scroll.
It looks good.
Yeah. 2 hours and 7 minutes. PG-13.
I got an ad.
It's all right, yeah. It's a podcast ad.
I keep getting
yeah.
turtles.
Christoph
Oh,
Waltz.
we got Christoph Waltz.
Lucy Liu.
Oh.
She's like, Cameron's doing a movie?
I'll
I'm
do
doing
a
one
movie
too.
with Christoph Waltz.
Okay.
That was the thumbnail. That's what pulled me in. Which is Hitman. This is like that movie with Bob Odenkirk. Action comedy. Oh, directed by Simon West. Did Con Air,
Okay.
Tomb Raider. Action movie. Imagine that movie that Odenkirk did, but with him in it.
Yeah. I mean, I would be more inclined to watch that over a Mel Gibson
Yeah.
or a Bruce Willis. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we got our first trailer
Oh.
here. Okay.
Yes, indeed. Dropped last night, dude. I was online. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and it hit Twitter. Didn't watch it.
Uh-oh. Yeah. I had no idea. I'm ready for this.
Hey,
All right. Lock it in. Hell yeah. They're being sick still. Oh, shit. They got this shit ready fast.
Yeah.
Are they nuking? That's creepy.
Yeah. It's like a number station.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Holy shit, what is that? Damn.
Looks good.
Talk about excited.
Yeah.
What a trailer.
I gotta add.
Yeah. Mike's hard.
that's gonna be good, guys.
Oh,
Yeah, it looks really good.
On that iPhone.
Oh, and by the way,
iPhone.
thought Alex Garland was done.
Well, he didn't direct it. He wrote it.
He probably produced.
Movie's gonna get fucking weird.
Yeah.
You're gonna grip and you're like, yeah,
Oh,
that's what we want.
it was directed by Danny Boyle. W. Trainspotting. Slumdog Millionaire. Slumdog now. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't have a lot of trailers this week. Actually, it was, since we had like a month off, I had to go back and pull some old ones. Slow week. I only had 3. That was it.
I mean, it'd be like that.
Get ready for violence. It used to do the English subs, and now I have to go in there and tell it every time. Ready Player One, but in India. This low key might be a banger. They're eating people.
Hard to be a
Calling
god.
him. Oh, I thought he was smelling his ass. Oh no. This is fucked up.
Uh-oh. So he got a encrusted eagle on his shoulder?
Warlord, you know.
Yeah, let's say get far away from this
Touching the
dude.
boots. Yeah.
He does have an eagle. It's not going to end well for them.
God.
I'm captivated.
That's wild.
I'll leave this. Yeah. All right. Here's what we got. We're back to options. We finally watched The Crow. That got pushed back for like 6 months. All right, we got Here, Megalopolis. We got The Last Dance, the Venom movie. Let me pull the thing up. There's more. Oh, we got that. The Substance. I highly recommend that, by the way. I do. I have seen it.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty Cronenberg.
It's wild. We got Rumors. That was where all the world leaders meet in the swamp.
Oh, yeah.
Tiptoes. Nope, that's an old one.
I mean, we could
A
just
Different
throw it
Man.
on.
Platform 2.
Hmm.
I'm looking through here.
I don't know, man. I mean, we could go ahead and knock Venom out if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, it just dropped yesterday, so.
Yeah. And then we can get that backlog cleared up. Maybe.
Well, I mean,
You know.
might
At
take
some
a while,
point.
but they're there.
Yeah.
We got
It'll be
movies
all
to watch.
right. Yeah.
I'm all right with that. You all right with that, Trav?
Yep.
Venom?
Sounds good.
Save The Last Dance for me. I mean,
Let's
the
do
check's
it.
in the mail.
And the flag is raised.